Hello. It is Monday, the 11th of May, and it is a cloudy day here as I go back to school after a May midterm break, walking my dog in a high vis and talking about education. If you had a May midterm break like I did, I hope you enjoyed it. If you are one of those schools that are going for the long haul, I hope you are doing okay with it too. I guess what I want to talk about on the day I go back is what I'm getting myself back into. As I'm sure most principals and school leaders in the country heard while they were off, was things were slightly quiet on the education front for a little while, with everyone lying low. And then all of a sudden, a load of circulars ended up landing on the desks on Wednesday or Thursday. And most of them are pretty important. If you're in a rural DET or a non-DET school, you may be one of the schools involved in a pilot, and that's for the HSCL post. And that's raised a number of questions, particularly around partnerships and how they might work. A number of primary schools have been teamed up with secondary schools. How is that relationship going to work? A number of schools in different ethoses. How's that going to work? And so on. But then there was a couple of other big documents that were sent out around the primary curriculum and the framework and planning and so on, which loads of information on that landed. And then I suppose most controversial of all, maybe controversial is too strong a word, but annoying is probably the correct word, was the summer programme was finally released with about a month and a half to go before it begins. And the annoying thing isn't that it was very late, it was the fact that the deadline for registering and getting yourself all ready for it, because we didn't know what was going to happen, so nobody probably was able to do anything, but we were given about a week to do everything, to register everything, and it just isn't enough time to get everything organised. And a number of teachers out there have been talking about this, most notably Trina Golden, who is asking people to call the IPPN and the INTO to get an extension on that. I mean, I'm just surprised that the IPPN haven't reacted to that, or didn't react to it. We're 4 days in. They might do it today or tomorrow, because I suppose the heat is under them to do something. Anyhow, if you're doing the summer programme and you're planning on doing it, as I would imagine about half of schools are, maybe a bit more, you only have, I think, until Thursday or Friday to register on the Department of Education's website. An email would have gone to your school with a link, and you would have to decide how many classes you're going to have. My understanding is there's a slight difference this year. I don't know what the funding is. I didn't get to see that actually, but what I did see is that the complex classes can be more than 2 weeks long. This year they can be up to 4 weeks long, if that's what you're interested in doing. So that's sort of a summary of what happened last week if you were off, in terms of circulars and whatnot. There were a couple of other little circulars out there that you might want to check. As some of you may know, I run a website called schoolpolicy.ie, which not only gives you all of the policies that you may ever need, and does them out for you with all your branding and logos and all the rest of it, but it also has a number of other tools, including one that summarises all the circulars that come out with checklists for busy principals, so that they can do all the jobs that they have to do. So look, that is it for today. We're back on Monday. Just keep an eye out this week. I'll be talking about our Unconvention, which kicked off as well last week. The Unconvention, we're starting off with one theme, just, almost, I won't call it a pilot because I'm allergic to that word, but I just decided to just maybe pick one theme to get going, just so we can learn how it's all going to work, how the questions go, how the conversations go. And 1 week on, we've got a fairly okay report with a number of points. Keep an eye out on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and all the other social media platforms, as well as Substack there, just to get an update, answer some questions, a few polls, a few surveys, a few questions, and so on. It really helps, and the more people that get involved in this unconvention, the plan is to get some recommendations on important aspects of the education system, which may or may not be covered by the official convention. As I say, we're looking at reading at the moment as our kick-start topic. Already a number of really good suggestions have come in, which you may or may not agree with. And if you don't agree with them, you should definitely get involved, because that's where good conversations start. That's it for me for today. I hope you have a wonderful first day back. If it is your first day back, I hope if it wasn't your first day back, look, keep going. You're nearly there. We're not really, but just keep telling yourself that we're nearly there, and it may happen. Manifest. Take care. Have a great day, and talk to you soon.